Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our third game, our final game of the night. It's been a hype series so far as we go into the final out of this fearless best of three between To the Moon and XSV. Again, my name is Kevin Dunk. I'm joined by True. If you weren't here beforehand, lock in because this has been a hype series. And again, we might have some level 1 shenanigans. And yeah, let's go with it. True, take us away.
All right. Well, gotta say XSV finally, like they're doing exactly what we expected. You see a blitzcrank, you're gonna five man, you're gonna go forward, you're gonna look for the hook. That being said, right, as negatively as things have gone for To the Moon at level 1, they are at the very least wise to it, right? They spotted XSV on the ward, so they're not going to lose out on anything here. Chaotic and Frisky, they're just going to sit in their bush near their inner bot lane turret. But yeah, like this is the quietest level 1 we've had all series.
So far, so good. I mean, they
Like
finally learned what they
Fracture's
were
not out of the
missing.
woods yet. Like
True,
actually,
true.
Fracture's in trouble because Sinestro's coming to his raptor.
Oh no, not this again. He tries to go for the
Oh
chickens.
my
Gets
lord.
jumped on. It gets stolen from the
Oh
audacious charge.
no.
Gold card gets the stun on a fracture as he's running for the hills. Tries to take the blast cone. Oh, he's just okay. He takes the blast cone over into the waiting arms of Xin
No,
Zhao. This
this is
is just
bad.
an addiction. Like we said, another first blood onto fracture in the jungle. Level 1 going over a very high prio on Chaotic. Flash out from both Krabadabadoo and Evil Fallen. The level 1 goes over to the Misfortune of Mumu lane, but again, their jungler dies at level 1. Oh, Krabadabadoo so low. Flash auto attack double up from Chaotic. Gets the trade kill back for second blood. Again, 2 kills by 2 minutes. This game is going in the path of the others as the teams just do not want to stop fighting.
Yeah, I mean that is just rough for a fracture, right? Like as we were discussing, once is an accident, twice is a habit, 3 times is an addiction, and fracture certainly seems to be addicted to getting slapped around a little bit at level 1. But To the Moon, right? They are able to find a return kill for themselves. That is a huge hook over the wall, though.
Krabadabdoo's only level 1, can't keep Chaotic in place as long. Evil Fallen gets the Gatling and some good damage, but again, just not enough because it's a level 1 Blitzcrank, can't keep them in place.
Yeah,
Oh,
no power fist, right?
I see an invade on the top side, Deathmaster or Sinestro, just really leveraging the advantage that he got, given a free kill onto the Ambessa early game. So I think they're just gonna leverage that and keep trying to invade. I think this Ambessa's somewhat caught up in the farm, but Zinja still has their blue buff to take, and I think they're looking aggressive.
Yeah, I think Fracture really had that like false sense of security built up. It's like, oh, we saw them on my bottom side, so the
Uh-oh.
Xin Zhao might start my bottom side. Oh, Frisky in a bit of trouble though.
Risky scrapping with the Zinjao. Oh my god, okay. Chickens do not get stolen. But now Zinjao's losing in a 1v1 to the support of Mumu. Krabadabadoo is now here with the Caterpillar. Can he hit the rocket grab? Gold card is going to get locked in. No, it's actually the blue card locked in, so Crab likely didn't have the rocket grab up. But it's just a fiesta every time someone walks into the jungle. Xin Zhao's losing to the support of Mumu, and this Ambessa's getting forced out as the mid laners just like try to follow their psychopaths of a jungler.
I mean, like Amumu does have a surprising amount of tankiness no matter what. Now, granted, like, do you expect Xin Zhao to be losing to Amumu early on? Not necessarily. But Sinestro was also, I think, like still level 2 at that very moment, so maybe level 3. But either way, not a lot of damage to be had. No one's gotten their backs off yet. No one has additional combat stats. So yeah, like Frisky able to keep things at parity. Crab has been, as you said in the previous game, like very consistent, trying to move, through the jungle, through the river, find opportunities to work with Sinestro. Bottom lane, not doing too hot so far for the side of XSV, but I think that is partially the result of that early kill coming through for Chaotic as well as Frisky. We're going to hit a little pause here. Taking quick stock of how things are going on the rest of the map. Top lane seems to be relatively even. As you can see, Murcielago likely working towards what I'm going to guess is a Malignance for the Malphite, just so you have that ultimate cooldown. And also you can kind of trade back, at least in terms of damage, a little bit early on. Fracture as well as Sinestro. You can actually see the Ambessa just slightly ahead on CS, although they are functionally equal in terms of camps cleared. Although you can see the Ambessa walking towards that Scuttle Crab, which should get Fracture slightly ahead. And in terms of Defoe and Caterpillar, I mean, like the most important thing to track with Syndra are those Splinters of Wrath. Right now, Defoe just sitting 17, not quite at anything of remark, but yeah, things are relatively even between these two teams at this very moment. I think XSV a little bit worried maybe about the bot lane, just because, like, not really because like things aren't going to scale well, but obviously we're at a slight disadvantage.
Yeah, back into the game now. The pause, thankfully, was a short one. Yeah, nothing wrong with what you said there, but I do think it's very interesting that Murcielago, playing like the most tank of the tank champions, is going to go for the Malphite AP. I think their team desperately needs a front line, but hey, they're going for it.
Yeah, it's a fairly standard thing. You go Malignance, and then you can kind of transition into tank from there. Like you really just get the Malignance because whoever you hit with your ultimate has to kind of sit on the AoE for a little bit, gets their MR reduced, but also you just have the ultimate cooldown reduction. But Frisky,
Gank from
chaotic, in a
Frisky
bit of
into the
trouble.
bottom lane. Rocket grab, point blank gets the hit, but now a jump in, audacious
Now
charge
we're
under the turret. Third strike of the free
Blitz!
talent. Oh my god! And now Blitzcrank takes the turret aggro. 2 kills already for the
Oh my
team
God.
of To The Moon, but it's gonna be 3 as Chaotic picks up another one for the double kill. Just an absolutely botched gank from the team of XSV as a little bit of tilt coming in maybe. And now they're scrapping in the mid lane near this bot river. Caterpillar and Defoe are just throwing cards and balls at each other.
Oh my
Caterpillar
goodness.
finally dies to it, unfortunately. So Defoe picks up a solo kill as they just throw hands there. And now Murcielago getting ganked. Hemoplague hits onto the Malphite. He just gets bursted down by everything. Fracture hits every ability, and Winter cleans up the kill with the Hemoplague into the Sanguine pool.
Oh my goodness. To the Moon finally having the early game that they drafted game 1 for. Going up to 6-2. Oh, wait.
Oh my god, and
Oh
solo
no.
kill from Grabadaba 2 just runs down Defoe with the rocket grab. You were looking at the shopkeeper, weren't you, Syndra? So he gets a free kill on that, uses the ignite for it, but Defoe dies in the weirdest place possible.
I mean,
Thankfully, he does
weirdest
have the
place.
TP, so he's going to get back, but this does mean easy Dragon Prio for the team of XSV.
I mean, the death is one thing, but seeing Defoe flash in place and get hooked.
Oh,
Oh man.
we see Frisky now trying to approach, get some damage onto Deathmaster. Knockup goes through, Wind becomes lightning, does good damage, but now Fracture is here. He said, you bullied me all of the last 2 games. I'm here for revenge as Chaotic's taken very low. Caterpillar gets the gold card, one more auto, secures it. Evil Fallen gets 2 kills with the bullets. This Corki is on fire. Defoe walking and tanking the dragon. Now it's like Mbessa in a 3v1. Rocket grab back, one more auto to do it. It's a triple kill from this Corki. Corki just absolutely untamed, going feral on this dog, gets 3 kills, getting him so far ahead in this early game, and his team still managed to get Dragon Prio.
Yeah, I mean, like for as bad as things looked less than a minute ago, XSV, they find their opportunity. They get so many kills for themselves. The kill score was 6-2 in favor of To the Moon. Now it's 7-7. So that is a kill swing of what, 5-1 in favor of XSV. Huge, especially because you're getting so much gold onto the Corki in that situation. And around that dragon fight, it didn't look too bad initially. You were seeing that surprisingly tanky Amumu taking on Sinestro around the dragon, and Fracture comes in, Defoe comes in, they are able to kill Sinestro, but unfortunately it takes so long, they lose so much HP. Oh, wait, top lane, Winter in a bit of trouble.
Winter has the Hemoplague and use the Sanguine Pool. Can he get enough healing? One more Seismic Shard, does not have enough damage. Winter heals back up, and Murcielago has to retreat as the heals are too much for him to burst down.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you don't get the kill fast enough there as Malphite, you do just have to walk it away, and that's exactly what Murcielago does. Just finishing the thought, like, the fight just went on for too long. Fracture did not have level 6 yet. Admittedly, neither did Sinestro, but really because of that, they weren't able to finalize the kill onto Evil Fallen. The Corki coming away with the triple kill in that situation is massive for the side of XSV, and, that momentum that To the Moon had been building up, about to rocket off to the moon, has been kind of just completely stalled at this point. Like, things are back at parity. Top lane looking a little bit dicey as Winter and Murcielago have kind of been just trading blows between one another, and obviously this Malphite is going to have access to a fair bit more damage than as one would typically expect with that early build towards a... Oh, wait, Fracture finding Sinestro.
Finding onto the Xin Zhao, a nice crescent sweep, gets the Mumu away, but now he's still in range. 2 bandage tosses, public execution on top of the Xin Zhao, who's not long for this world. The hook in on the level 4 Mumu, but he's so damn tanky somehow. Winter walks down from top lane, but that's a free kill onto the Xin Zhao. The tables have turned as now Fracture has a massive CS lead from the jungle camps and is just beaten down on this Xin Zhao with the help of their team.
Yeah, they do get the kill onto the Xin Zhao, which is great. But I think the other thing critically, right, Evil Fallen, this Corki that does have so many kills, has left lane as well. And you did see that Chaotic takes the opportunity to make sure the lane gets pushed out down bottom. The Corki going to be transitioning up there to the top lane for the time being. But yeah, that MF able to get a little bit more for themselves just because, you know, Evil Fallen and the rest of XSV weren't able to find anything in terms of a return kill. But it seems like the grubs might be in the eyes of both teams. It's Crab actually still getting spotted out here.
Okay, yeah, Crab is still there, you know, doing what he does most, scuttling into the enemy jungle as he's just going for supportal combat onto this Mumu. Now, Fracture has a 1-level lead on Deathmaster, but now it's the Destiny gated in. The TF is here as Evil Fallen gets a huge big one, gets the kill on Mbessa, and another auto attack goes through the pool, kills for a double kill on the Vladimir. Now Xin Zhao jumps in onto Frisky, a nice scatter of the week, gets the stun, Wind Become Lightning misses, another flash rocket punch actually, and now Defoe just solo kills onto the Xin Zhao in the back line. This Xin Zhao's not as strong as you thought, and one more rocket grab actually gets the kill onto Frisky. These two supports are just duking it out in the jungle, but in the end, it's XSV who come out ahead on that as they get a kill on the Vladimir and the Mbessa as well. I gotta keep talking as now Chaotix running down Murcielago, uses the Unstoppable Force out to escape from Winter's teleport, and now the top laners are in the bot lane, and the bot laners are in the top lane after this crazy fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes some degree of sense that, you know, you have your bot lane swapping around, especially considering that the grubs are still here, and that's just kind of how the game has played out thus far in. But like talking about how that fight really went, I mean, it's difficult for To The Moon to find an appropriate response, not just because of all this roaming that Crab has been doing so well, but that the TF all Destiny just able to really turn any even fight into an advantage for the side of XSV. And it's just really difficult for To The Moon to answer to it right now, even though it is on a fairly long cooldown early on. It's just difficult to deal with, especially considering that Caterpillar also has TP available. Winter might be going for a bit of a dive here.
One more, oh my god, Transfusion gets the kill with the second part of the Hemoplague, and now there's another fight around Grubs that managed to secure it, so I think that's 2 Grubs over to the side of XSV, but now Deathmaster Sinestro dies in the process for it.
Yeah, Sinestro has certainly been struggling quite a bit here in this game. You see that Xin Zhao is 1-5. Also, Murcielago having a rough time too. Does have that completed Malignance, but is 0-2. Although Defoe in a bit of trouble as well.
Field goes up to silence. Valkyrie over the orbs. One more auto. Unfortunately, a KS from Krabadabadoo secures that, meaning that there's less gold for the Corki, but that is a free kill onto Defoe's Syndra.
Yeah, I mean, this, like, it just feels like both of these teams, they are just trading punch for punch constantly. Like, the gold is very close to being even, just about 500 separates these two teams. And I think that's just the result of this back and forth aggression between both teams. Like, it seems like the moment To The Moon finds something, XSV finds something in return. And, like, it's just going to keep going that way back and forth up until we hit, like, a breaking point for both teams. And it looks like XSV
the heavyweight matches, they keep scrapping nonstop. It's 22 kills within 12 minutes. That's nearly, I think that's what, like almost 2 kills a minute. And there's Atacon flowers everywhere, as you can tell. As now it's going to be XSV securing the second dragon. A flash out of the rocket grab as the bandage toss is here to answer. Krabadabadoo is doing their best scuttling, and they got a flash out of this misfortune, a key summoner spell out of this immobile AD carry. It's going to be big for the next team fight.
Yeah, you can see Murcielago just continuing to just push down in that bottom lane. Up top, Winter now contending with Caterpillar. Both teams have claimed 1 feat of warfare apiece. Kills went over to the side To The Moon, and then as we just saw, objectives going over to XSV. So really, whoever gets that first tower is going to get that, free boots upgrade and access to the later one as well. But I think it's a bit of a rough spot, I think, for XSV to be in. Yes, they've had Murcielago constantly pushing down here in the bottom lane, but the other lanes seem to be pushing a bit against them, at least for the time being. Mm, I think that like it spells out a delicate situation for them to be contending with. Although things might change as the Rift Herald is spawning in just under a minute.
Yeah, Herald is the next key objective people have to scrap over. I think if XSV bring over this Corki who was so strong, secured so many plates and gotten 6 kills so far, has, on parity farm, rocket grab onto this Amumu, does not have the aftershock, bandage toss hits, a Valkyrie away from the Curse of the Sad Mummy, but now the bullet time rips apart this robot. This Krabadabadoo is Krabadabba dead, as it's going to be a freebie in the mid lane, but it is 2 ultimates used before the next objective.
Yeah. Oh, nice
Oh my
flash.
gosh, that ensemble force gets flashed away from Defoe. Nice reaction time, but that again, another mobile carry without the flash, so that means the next time they're dead for sure. Murcielago pressuring well with this solo lane.
I mean, yeah, but in that situation, Defoe absolutely has to flash away just because there will be enough damage on that Malphite to kill the Syndra in that situation. So I can certainly understand wanting to stay alive here, especially with the lane pushing in towards, and both teams just trying to get that first tower kill critically. That being said, though, looks like XSV might
Oh
be
man,
on
wow,
towards it.
this Rift Herald goes going down so fast. Fractures and Bess has so much damn damage. Frisky's now supporting his team. Rocket Grab goes wide. Deathmaster, can Sinestro get it? Cannot. It's secured by the team of To The Moon, but now Evil Falls in the front line trying to launch out the rockets. Does good damage. Still not at that 2-hour power and spike though. So, most importantly, the Rift Herald, that objective, while it doesn't count for feats, that's 1 off for the team of XSV. They're not going to be able to use that to pressure the turrets.
Yeah, and it's quite critical, when you do have that Rift Herald available because you can just use it to create pressure for yourself. Now, that being said, XSV, they have some decent push really in all 3 lanes at this point. As you can see, Caterpillar just trying to push that into its top lane, and then the bottom lane, Evil Fallen and trying to secure mid as well. But with that, Rift Herald maybe To The Moon could use it just to throw things down and secure the tower somewhere, but it looks like that's not their call for the time being. They are just sitting on it. Maybe they want to use it for tempo by the time the Ocean Drake comes up. But this is a delicate situation for
Oh, a
Defoe. I
gank being
don't
onto
think you can
Defoe. Doesn't
survive
have the
here.
flash. Rocket grab hits as we see double knockups. This Malphite, can he secure it? The Malignance burn is not enough. Winter actually
Oh my
teleports.
goodness.
Flashes over. Can Murcielago get one more Seismic Shark? Gets the kill, but the Rift Herald's in mid lane. Krabadabadoo is now running away as Fracture's getting jumped on by 3 people. It's a fight on 2 fronts of the map. A double kill over to this Vladimir. Gold card onto Fracture. Secures the kill with the Foss Bomb. Now, Chaotic has to run away, but it's, 2 kills in the middle, or sorry, 2 kills across the map for both teams as 2 people die bot. 1 person dies bot for To The Moon, and then the Ambessa being on the weak side dies for that too. Oh, now we see an engage onto Frisky and Moon. Doesn't have the aftershock, doesn't have the Curse of the Sad Mummy, jumps in, actually uses the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Sorry, they still have the ultimate. Chaotic manages to get the kill as this Corki takes so much damage as Misfortune was free firing, and they just got a freebie onto Deathmaster, who's way too aggressive on that. Now Murcielago wants seconds as he gets hit by everything from this Vladimir, has to run away, does not have the ultimate or the flash to escape.
No.
Hides the blood into the Sanguine Pool, is going to get this kill surely, as it's another transfusion that gets the kill. Now Caterpillar wants to make me keep talking as he goes for an engage, disengages from that, but wow, Winter's just cleaning up kills on the map. We talked about this Vlad getting ahead, and he is soaking up the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's becoming a bit of a catastrophe for the side of XSV at this point, seeing this Vladimir just able to walk forward unopposed into Murcielago. There's not a damn thing that Malphite can do in that situation, even with that little bit of MR that's been built. Just because Vladimir, you have your Horizon focus, the Hemo Plague hits really, really hard, and Malphite just can't get away in that situation without committing ultimate. And then critically, right? To The Moon able to secure not just 1 but 2 towers for themselves. They do come away with the feat of warfare, or feats of warfare complete, but it looks like XSV's response is to start up this dragon. They might be aiming to, or at least angling here, to get up to Soul Point, and they do have their critical ultimates available.
Ooh, everyone is here, and rocket grab onto the Amumu. The Amumu does not have the Curse of the Sad Mummy, just gets bursted. The pick comp working so well as Krabadabadoo picks that one up for free with the rocket grab. Now it is a 4v5 if the TF wants to TP use the TP instead of the Destiny. Must not have it up, as we see the rocket grab goes wide. Murcielago is frontlining for his team. I think To the Moon just have to give this one away, but they're looking at Murcielago. He's not that tanky yet. Okay, yeah, they're just going to secure the push on mid-wave and give this up. It's going to be soul point secured for the team of XSV. A nice pick from this robot to get the kill onto the supporter. That means they win this objective without a team fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think even if a Mumu is up in that situation, the landscape, Fracture might be in a bit of trouble.
Oh,
For the
Fracture's
Ambessa.
here, maybe getting caught again like he so often likes to do, but now Evil Fallen is on vision. Ooh, Frisky, not going for the bandage toss. Okay, it's a very tense moment for both these teams as Otacon is going to be spawning within the next 30 seconds, but I think both teams are just willing to just farm until the next objective.
Yeah, I think that's just fine, right? Like, I think both of these teams are relatively aware of how delicate things are. Like, even though the momentum has been slightly in the favor of To the Moon at this point, we can see that the gold is very, very close to being even between both teams. And it's difficult for, I think, either team to really want to make a big commitment, especially with so many things coming up, especially that Otacon. And for the side of To the Moon, I think they're a little bit concerned at this point because you've given up 3 dragons and you know that you're looking at an ocean map. That's a whole lot of healing to give something like a TF, something like a Corki. And while you seem to be having the better end of fights, you take a look at who they've killed. They've only killed the carries of XSV 1 time apiece, right? Caterpillar's only died once. Evil Fallen's only died once. It has just been the Malphite, the Sinjao, and the Blitzcrank that have been dying. The carries on XSV are still completely scary in their own right. You can see TF having a completed Lichbane, having a completed Roa, and Evil Fallen on this Corki, right? Completed Triforce, completed Muramana. They are going to hit quite hard.
Yeah, we see Caterpillar actually, against 2 targets that can't get away from the point-and-click stun. So we see Fracture just beating the crap out of Murcielago with the Sundering Slam into the Lacerate. Scatter of the Weak misses. Now Krabadabadoo is here, gets hit by the Bandage Toss, but now it's in the mix as we see a 2-man knock-up. We see the Crescent Guard go out. Fracture's taken so low. A knock-up onto him. Use the Public Execution for the healing. Rocket Grab over the wall, hits the Vladimir, but it's still Sinestro that dies. Murcielago does not have enough damage to finish this off. Evil falls in the middle of 2. He can't 2v1 this. A flash of Winters. He's taken over the fight. Tides of Blood gets the kill, and now it's just Murcielago alone under this turret. Caterpillar did not have the range to go for the Destiny and the Gate to Foe. Misses all of the orbs, but now Murcielago sprinting away with the speed from the Seismic Shard. Scatter of the Weak misses, but Frisky's going for the kill. Murcielago actually flashes in, gets one more auto for the kill, but he dies for the trade, and that means it's a freebie Otacon for the side of To the Moon. It is a big secure of the objective for them as they won the 5v4 fight.
Yeah, and critically in that situation, right? Caterpillar, as you said, not enraged for the Destiny. So the fight numbers are just in the favor of To the Moon. And I honestly think that was that little bit of a breaking point. If TF is able to be there at the right time, that is a completely different fight for To the Moon and XSV in those situations. But unfortunately, Caterpillar not able to show up, not able to really express how much gold that TF represents. For XSV, and that means XSV, they come away. Like I was saying, things are going to feel really back and forth between these 2 teams up until we hit a critical moment, and we might have just witnessed that as To the Moon come away with the Otacon. They come away with almost a clean amount of kills. I mean, if not for Murcielago's one final heroic effort. So Sinestro might be in a bit of trouble here, though.
Is now in the bush. He's in the enemy jungle, jumps onto Chaotic, but he's taking so much damage. The Crescent Guard cannot save you. A nice double knockup as Evil Fallen gets the kill onto the Amumu. And now he's getting chased by the Ambessa. Ambessa just rips him apart with the Sundering Slam. The Lacerate is here. The Vladimir teleports in, and Murcielago again is the last person here, and his TF is nowhere to be seen. Unleash power onto Murcielago. Can Defoe get the stun? One more Scatter of the Weak not needed, actually. It's the Force of Will that gets the kill for free. Vladimir picks up another one. 9-1 and 4, 20 stacks on the Magi's. You said that there was a critical point at which this team runs over, and Winter just hit critical mass.
Yeah, as you said, 20 stacks on this Magi's. I think, honestly, if you're Caterpillar in that situation, the moment you see Vladimir show up in that fight, you're like, all right, I'm not joining, guys. Peace. I'm gonna keep pushing. Like, there's not much you can do there. Like, we saw in that previous fight around Otacon, Winter actually got fairly low, but unfortunately for XSV, they weren't able to finalize the kill. Dragon is coming up. This is the potential soul for the side of XSV. They
Soul
need to commit
fight.
for this.
TP coming out from Caterpillar finally. Oh, flash out from Frisky. Oh my god, yeah. No, this Vladimir's untouched and gets the Hemoplague onto Caterpillar. He's taken so low. The Hemoplague's going to do so much damage. Fracture's now on the
Fracture.
other side of the fight, getting chased down. A flash knockup from the Xinjiao. Wind Become Lightning does good damage, but now it's a fight on two fronts as they're all trying to chase down this Ambessa, but it gets so much healing and shielding from the Eclipse, but he still goes down before the public execution happens. A stun out on the Vladimir. Now Chaotix just blasting away at the TF. He managed to flash away, but
Oh,
now it's a
man.
shutdown on the Vladimir. He's finally dead. But now Syndra hits a massive scatter of the week. Chaotic and Defoe, can they fight this just with those two? But it's a jump in on from Deathmaster. Sinestro gets the kill on that one. Wind Becomes Lightning as one more auto attack. He cleans up the second kill. It is a key team fight win because this secures XSV, the Ocean Soul, and maybe they have a fighting chance against this Thanos of a Vladimir.
Honestly, it just felt like To The Moon lost their minds at that very moment. They saw Fracture getting aggressed on, and they said, "Okay, we have to salvage this. If Ambessa goes down, we need to look for the fight." But what are you looking for the fight for? All you have is unleashed power from the Syndra. You don't have Hemoplague. You don't have Bullet Time. You don't have Curse of the Sad Mummy. And when your fight is defined by what you don't have, then you shouldn't be fighting at all. Instead, though, they commit for it and get hilariously punished. And now, in a situation where they were looking like this is going to be a relatively clean Game 3 win, they have utterly thrown that away and straight into the arms of XSV, who have that soul for themselves, have the gold advantage, and they are angling to get vision on this Baron.
Yep, the Twisted Fate finally ports up in time and secures the team fight win. I think it was so important that Chaotic and Frisky both did not have the ability to use their ult into the very end after Winter was dead. And Winter tried to use the full Hemoplague combo onto Caterpillar, who flashed out and survived that, was able to come back around to the fight, hit a gold card, stopping the rest of Winter's engage. And it meant that Evil Fallen and Deathmaster were just able to keep hitting and just shred through the Ambessa and the Mumu. So it was such a great fight, playing it out, kiting it out. They didn't take the straight 5v5. They picked off one, they picked off another, and then when they finally had a distinctive numbers advantage, they just went for the kill shot. So great fight by them. Turns out Twisted Fate is pretty good when you team fight with him. So now it's going to be a very rough game. They do have the permanent buff of the Dragon Soul. It's the Ocean, so it's going to be even harder for this comp to die. And now we see that Xinjiao hit 2 items. We see that Murcielago's Malphite hit 2 items. And we see 3 items on Evil Fallen, securing the Mortal Reminder, reducing that healing that's available for Winter and Fracture. Like you said, True, it's exactly right. What was pretty much an easy slam dunk with this team fight comp is now looking more dire than ever.
Yeah, I mean, like, now it's going to feel a bit like XSV. They have their own, I won't say Hemoplague available to them, but they just have a substantial amount of healing available. And that means that To The Moon, their job is so much more difficult. They don't have any grievous wounds on any members at the moment. Frisky getting engaged on, though.
Engage onto Frisky. Wind Become Lightning does so much damage. Caterpillar is baiting the entire enemy team. Fracture can't get close enough because of the gold card and the healing.
There's Malphite.
Locked in, bonked onto Fracture. 5-man just jump him down. Double kill for this Corki, who has been the linchpin to his team's damage. And this likely means a free Baron because the jungler of To The Moon just went to the gray screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's just really rough in that situation. To The Moon getting completely caught out and caught, really unprepared in that very moment. Losing Fracture, losing Frisky means that the Amumu isn't going to be there for the engage. And I think To The Moon, they just have to sit back and let this happen. There's not a single thing they can do. They know Murcielago still has Unstoppable Onslaught available, and the moment or not Unstoppable Onslaught, Unstoppable Force. And the moment that the Malphite is to would target one person, Blitzcrank would be there to follow up. So yeah, this is an impossible situation for them to navigate into. They just have to give up the Baron. And now, To The Moon, they're staring down the face of a Baroned up XSV, even when the Elder spawns. Like the Elder is probably going to be the breakpoint for To the Moon. Like after that catastrophic fight around the last Ocean Drake, like they are now in a situation where it just looks like they've completely lost any momentum. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to execute on or who to go in on because it's hard for them to identify a target. Like Caterpillar still has yet to die since their first death, and Evil Fallen on this Corki 11, 3, and 7. The Corki hits like a truck as well.
Yeah,
So
the
I feel
Corki's
like so much is
firing.
just on Winter at this point to just find an amazing fight and smash things away. Like I think To the Moon is just hoping that Winter comes into play one more time.
Yeah, it needs to be an absolute pop-off team fight from this Vladimir. He is on 4 items, right? He's the most ahead out of everyone in this game. Can he leverage that advantage to win them the game? I think Crab has been so great on these pick champions, on these, invades in the jungle. Sometimes they got too int, but it's been working well so far because the picks just work in their favor, right? I don't think XSV ever want to take just a straight-on 5v5 team fight, and Crab's been making it so easy for them to get, an advantage team fight by getting the first hook. Caterpillar's been doing a great job sidelining. We did criticize him a bit for not being in those earlier fights, but he has been playing defense by getting the gold card onto the targets that want to jump in. It kind of playing interference on every person that wants to dive, and it's been working so well. They just gotta keep up this pressure until the spawn of the Elder Dragon in under 1 minute.
Yeah, and they'll still have those bonus stats from the Baron buff available as the Elder spawns. It won't be there forever, mind you. They'll have, I think, roughly around 30 to 35 seconds with them. But that's still more than enough time to just like express that advantage, express those stats, and really keep To the Moon away. To the Moon, on the other hand, like they have to approach this situation so delicately because they know, this Elder is coming up, and if we face check at the wrong time or we don't, or like the wrong person gets hooked, that could be it. That could be the series. It's a very scary prospect for them to face. You can see XSV is just stacking up To the
It's
Moon.
the death
They're
rush.
having, yeah,
They're
To
gonna
the
they
Moon
want
have
to end
got
this
like
game the way they started this series by just hiding in a bush and just 5-man jumping the gang. But I think, oh my God, it's a hook onto the Ambassador. The Ambassador just gets one shot. Silence, almost dead. The Chrysalis said Mummy does not hit many. The stun has to get pulled away from, and now Evil Fallen gets another kill on the Amumu. Unstoppable Force. He does not have pool available. The gold card is not fast enough. It's a red card lock-in, but now Deathmaster just on the backline. Defoe cannot do any
dog
damage
yet.
to this guy. This Xin Zhao has finally scaled. It is a 3-for-0 fight so far. Fracture's running for his life. He's trading against this jungler. A flash in from the Misfortune cannot get the kill onto the Xin Zhao. Finally, he dies, but it doesn't matter. Bullet time does nothing to the winning team. And even though they got camped in the early game, it does not matter because it is XSV who are going to push for the win in this. They started the game cheesing in the bush, and they're going to end this series doing the exact same thing by cheesing in the bush for a beautiful third match win in this last game.
I mean, seemingly from the jaws of defeat, XSV, they have grasped victory. And really, it is just like off of some very, for lack of a better term, questionable decision making from To the Moon at a critical moment. In XSV, they come away with a win. They absolutely deserved it. They found their opportunities. And honestly, I gotta say, like, Evil Fallen Caterpillar staying relatively untouched at critical moments. And like as I pointed out before, right, the only members of XSV that were really dying, right, the Malphite, the Xin Zhao, the Blitzcrank, there is, as long as they're the ones that are dying, XSV